Hey, what's going on, guys? Good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I'm in the car, and I am on my way to visit a very good friend of mine, my mentor, Dr. Tommy Whitler. Dr. Whitler, he's one of the world's leading authorities in something that I think Black people can learn a lot from, which is an area called consumer behavior. If you guys saw yesterday, Dr. George Frazier was on the channel, and Dr. George Frazier was basically explaining how Black people how we're stuck in the what is called the consumer class, and being members of the consumer class means that you are consistently a tool. You're consistently utilized by members of the producer class. So, while we've got millions of people in our community that will gladly go eat Popeye's chicken, there aren't that many people sitting around saying, how do we take over Popeye's spot and actually create our own chicken places, or people that want to wear sneakers aren't really thinking about how do I go manufacture sneakers. And so one of the issues that we have is that you can't build wealth. Black wealth, one of the other reasons black wealth is dropping, besides other things like student loans and all that, is because we are in the consumer class. We love to consume, consume, consume. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. Yes or no? Tell me if you get what I'm saying. I cannot see. I see Carl from Connecticut. What's going on? I see Carl's asking, when am I coming to a certain... I couldn't read it because I'm driving. I don't want to crash into anybody. So I'm sorry I missed that. But let me just say this. If you want me to come to your city, I'm always happy to come to your city. But you have to show me that you want me to come there. I'm only planning to go to New York in October. We're going to have the site up, the link where you can purchase a pass at drboycenewyork.com. That's drboycenewyork.com. And also the All Black National Convention's in Houston. So I'll be in Houston in September. So you can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. And after that, I'm taking a break. I'm not going to go to any more cities for a while. But I will come to your city. If all you got to do is go get some people, get maybe 50 people or whatever, 50 people to put up, 100, 100, 150 bucks a piece or something like that. And then that will give us enough reason to know that there are people there that want us there. And we will put up the rest of the money. So we will put our money where our mouth is, but we also need the community to invest in itself as well. So if you show us that you're willing to invest in you, then we will show you that we're willing to invest in you and make the trip. If not, that's okay too. That's totally cool. I mean, you can actually join the Black Business School. But a lot of people don't know, you can actually get started for free at theblackbusinessschool.com, THE, that's theblackbusinessschool.com. We have enrollment specialists right there on the line right now waiting to talk to you about your personal wealth plan, what your goals are, what you'd like to accomplish, so you can set up personal consultations with me one-on-one if that's something that you want to do for your business. It's not cheap now. To meet me one-on-one is not cheap because I don't like to do one-on-one meetings, to be honest with you, because my time is so tight. So you gotta be real serious to want to do something like that. But we also have plenty of classes and all kinds of stuff going on. So feel free to go to theblackbusinessschool.com and they can get you started. Okay, so let me tell you guys what was on my mind this morning, what I was thinking about. I was thinking about, relationships. I think about relationships a lot. And the reason is not because I'm trying to become, I don't know, Steve Harvey with the strawberry letters and make a movie like Think Like a Man or anything like that. Although we did make a relationship movie called The Black Love Blueprint, which I think is very important for Black people to view that film. But I think about relationships a lot because the more I know about relationships, and the more I learn about economics, the more I realize that the two are deeply connected, that you can't build economic strength without good relationships. Why is that? Well, because you're not going to buy from somebody you don't trust. You're not going to do business with somebody you don't like. You're not going to be able to build an economy if you're scared of being scammed or screwed or whatever. Like I have a few relatives and friends I loan money to. Tell me if you're in this category too. I have a few relatives and friends I loan money to, did business with, legit, like, loan them, some of them thousands of dollars to help them in a tough spot or to help them with their business situation or whatever. And they weren't able to repay, and that just leaves you pissed off and bitter and mad. And I ain't no different. Shit, I get mad too. I mean, I will say I probably have $20,000 in loans that I put out to different people trying to help them out, and had them, literally renege on everything that they said they were going to do. And it made me sad because all those relationships came to an end. They didn't come to an end, but they really took a big dip. Now when you call me, I'm just not going to trust you like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to fuck with you. I don't want to do business with you. No, you ain't getting my money. Don't even ask. No, I'm not inviting you to be a part of this project. No, I don't, no, I don't want to hear your sob story, like whatever. Like, I don't know if you know about anybody, if you ever had like relatives or friends, every time you talk to them, they got a problem, or they only call you when they got a problem. And it just makes me sad. It just reminds me of the depressed state of our community, in terms of the fact that we don't really have internal mechanisms built within us that break us out of that broken slave mentality. That broken slave mentality is one where it's always, woe is me, I can't make it, I need help, I need white Jesus to come save me, loan me some money, can I hold a couple dollars, I'm pathetic, boo-hoo, and it's just kind of like damn, like, man, the world is built on some bullshit. Like, the world is really not, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Like, I didn't notice until recently, just so you guys know, I'm doing what I refer to as a stream of consciousness, where I literally am just honest and I tell you what I'm thinking, and I don't really have a specific agenda. So if you're one of those, Negroes with short attention spans, you probably need to leave, because this conversation is not for you. So just so you know that. And by the way, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. Also, shout out your city. Shout out the city that you're from, so other people can see where you're coming from around the world. I would like to be able to shout your city back at you, but I can't, because I'm paying attention to the road, trying not to die today. And in case you want to know where I'm going, I'm driving across Chicago to go meet Dr. Tommy Whitler, who's a DePaul University professor, expert in consumer behavior. And then later on today, I'm going to meet Pastor Jamal Bryant. He's the pastor, I think the church is New Birth in Atlanta. And so Pastor Bryant and I, we've never met. And so he was gracious enough to reach out. So I decided that it would be great to meet him and just see what the brother's about. I don't know anything. I don't know much about Pastor Bryant, to be honest with you. I've heard of him. I know he's a dynamic speaker, and I just like to know what other people have going on, just to see if I can help. So anyway, so let's get back to it. All right, so here's the thing, right? Like, relationships are everything when it comes to building empires. Like, you can't build empires without building relationships. All your relationships, kind of form like the life that you live. If you don't have good relationships, it's hard to get anything done. Like, in fact, if you ever want to really find a big key to being wealthy, go read books on how to manage relationships. Like you guys saw yesterday, Dr. George Frazier was here. He's probably one of the best relationship managers I've ever seen. He wrote the book Success Runs in Our Race. He also wrote another book called Click. I think it's Click 10 Rules for Managing Successful or Extraordinary Relationships. It's something like that. And anyway, the reason I think this is important, I used to not think it was important. I had to grow into this. Like, before, I really wasn't sold on this concept. Is that, when I find, that people are trying to make business deals, trying to make things happen, trust is huge. People will work with someone they like and they trust before they work with a more qualified person that they don't know or don't like or don't trust. And that's just the fact, or if a person gets a recommendation from somebody they know and they trust, they will believe that recommendation like that. Like, they will act like they've known you for years because somebody they trust and they know just introduced you to that person. So, there are basic ideas about putting your best foot forward, just being a good person, just, being helpful to other people, being nice, not being an asshole. That goes a long way to getting things done. In fact, one of my rules, generally speaking, is that if I don't know you, like, I'm going to be nice to you because I don't know you enough to know what blessing I could be blocking by mistreating you or disrespecting you. I mean, first of all, I don't like to disrespect people anyway because it's kind of rude. But, I'll admit, like, I'm an introvert, which can make me a little antisocial at times. Not to be mean, it's just because sometimes I need to be inside my own head. Like, a lot of outside chatter and stuff, it just kind of drains me a little bit. So literally after I go speak and I meet everybody and shake all everybody's hands, I have to go to my room and turn the lights out and just be in silence for a while so I can recenter myself, figure out who I am again, right? And it's very weird. It's just who I am. But sometimes that can come off as rude, and it's not meant to be, of course. But what I learned is that when you meet people, you have to treat everybody with decency and respect until they deserve otherwise. Until something happens and you have to deal with people and let them know, like, you're not gonna walk all over me, I'm not no punk or whatever. Then at that point you have to flip the script on them, right? Like, that's okay to do, and in fact, I've even had people blast me on the internet because I think that they were disappointed because they thought that I was Mr. Nice Guy all the time. And it's like, no, I'm Mr. Nice Guy until you show me who you are. If you show me that you are a person that is not a good human being, that is a leech, a user, if you're being rude and disrespectful to people that I care about, then yeah, I will cut you off, and I have no problem being ruthless in that area. But just because you can be ruthless doesn't mean you should be ruthless all the time. In fact, kindness, it takes more strength to be kind than it takes to be mean. Being mean just means you put up walls and you block everybody out. Kindness means you're letting people in and you're making yourself vulnerable, and that you could be exploited much more easily if you're kind than if you're just mean and cold and just don't fuck with anybody, from the beginning. So ultimately what I would say is, like, a general rule that I would apply if you're trying to just do business, trying to succeed, trying to get ahead in life, trying to form good relationships, whether you're talking about dating somebody or having friendships or doing business, is just be nice, be helpful, listen to people, use their name when you talk to them. Like, that's one little piece of advice George Fraser actually throws out there a lot, which is, he said, the sweetest sound in the ears of any person is their own name. So, if you get a chance to say their name, and that way you let them know that they're special and they're important and you're hearing them and all this other stuff. And I guarantee you that if you are that kind of person, good things will happen. People will want to be around you. People will want to do things with you. People will invite you into business deals. So for example, if I was trying to be wealthy, if I'm on my grind and I'm a young guy trying to get ahead, I would go join a club of investors or entrepreneurs. Join clubs. We have some investment clubs in the Black Business School, but we're trying to have more actually around the world. We built one in London, the Black London Asset Acquisition Council. It's BLAAC, and so we have a few, but we're trying to get more. But join a club for investors or entrepreneurs and just be the friendliest, most helpful person in the room. Don't come in with an agenda like, oh, I'm gonna ask this person for this and this person for that. Just your agenda the only agenda you should have is, I want to be a resource for everyone. And then what will eventually happen is that you'll just stack up all this capital, all these favors people will owe you, all these people will want to help you, and it's just a natural way, reciprocity, that's what they call it. Reciprocity is very natural. It works, it happens in sales, it happens in everything. And it's not like it's a trick. It's not like it's a trick. Like, if you're genuinely helpful, why wouldn't somebody want to reciprocate? And why wouldn't any self-respecting person want to be helpful to a person who was helpful to them, right? So it's a very natural human process. So anyway, when you're talking about interpersonal relationships, one thing I can tell you too is a lot of wealth in the Black community gets lost because we don't know how to stay together as couples. Like, a lot of wealth, trillions of dollars in Black wealth gets lost. Like, that's your reparations right there. Not just all the money you give into places like Popeye's Chicken or whatever, but your reparations is also lost because your relationships can't maintain themselves. You end your friendships at the drop of a dime. You get triggered easy. People love to brag about how they'll cut people off in a second, or they'll get pissed off and block you on Facebook because you said something they didn't like, or you voted for Trump and I didn't, so fuck you, I don't want to talk to you no more. Whereas Trump, to one of y'all, in his mind, y'all might both be a bunch of worthless niggas, but you gonna lose your friend over Donald Trump, when really that person might be a good person. They just might disagree with you politically. Who cares? Who cares about that, right? So, we're very quick and very triggered to just pull the trigger. Like there's something that people love to brag about. They love to brag about how quickly they'll cut somebody off and just walk out the door and just be done, no matter, on any little thing. Like I was listening to that big girl. Anybody seen that big girl Lizzo, the singer? Which there's a lot of slavery unpacking to do with why white feminists love Lizzo, but I'm not gonna even say that because she's so popular. I don't want nobody to get mad at me for being too intelligent to fall for the bullshit. But she's a great singer, very talented though. But there's a lot to say about all of that. But one of the things, I was listening to her lyrics. I analyze lyrics of music because musical lyrics shape a lot of our behavior, whether we know it or not. And I heard her say one part where she said, "If he don't love you no more, then take your fine ass out the door," or something like that, right? And it's just kind of like bragging about ending your relationships. Like, we love to brag about, how we'll just dump a motherfucker in a second. Like, oh, you make me unhappy for a little while, I'm gone. And I will tell you what, I think that's kind of weird. I think that people, a lot of our relationships don't last, not just in the black community, but in America, period, because Americans do not know how to have relationships. When I go to other countries, I see a lot of instances of people that got married 30, 40 years ago, and they stayed married, and they had kids, and they stayed married, and they went through life, and they stayed married, and they grew old, and they stayed married, and it's just like it just was what it was, And I was lucky enough to see that with my parents. My parents, they've been rocking together since 1974. You know what I mean? Like, they literally ride or die, like no drama. There's no discussion. It wasn't like we ever saw any times publicly where they were having to fight to save their relationship, or fighting through some issue, or having to soul search to decide if they were going to be together. It never happened. My parents just kept it simple. Like, we're together and that's it. And I like that simple-minded approach to things, in the sense that is a contradiction to what you're hearing in a lot of relationship advice columns. All these relationship advice columns and whatever is always all about how you feel. Well, if you're feeling this way, then you should end the relationship. And if you're feeling that way, then no partner would do this to you, but blah, 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 blah. If you're feeling that way, then you should leave the relationship. Or I was committed until blah, 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 right? And don't get me wrong. I mean, some relationships have to end, right? Some relationships, it's just absolutely, completely unbearable. But most of the time, if you think about it, if two people are fighting with each other and mad at each other, if two people are mad at each other, if two people have gone into a downward spiral where they're just pissed off at one another, you only need two people to agree that the fight is going to come to an end. Only two parties are necessary to come to a truce. You don't need approvals from 57 other people. You don't need, it's not a complex process, really. It's not complex. It's only complex because we make it complex. Like, literally, if I'm beefing with you and you beefing with me, and we can't see eye to eye, but if both of us decide, I want to stop fighting, let's figure this out, let's compromise, then the fight's over. It's all over. It's a two-person tornado, a two-person tango. If both of us just stop dancing, then the tango ends. And I make that point to say that a lot of the stuff that we think is complicated really ain't complicated. Like, I asked my dad, I said, what's the secret to staying married 45 years? What did you do? What was your magic formula for staying together for all this time? And I expected some wise, complex statement. And my father said, the secret to staying married 45 years is that I didn't get divorced. That was it. He said, I came home every day. Like, that's what it was. Just, it's that simple. Like, you just do it, you know. And I don't think we hear that. I think that people are like, yeah, I made my commitment and my vow before God that I expected everybody to believe I was going to commit to for the rest of my life. But then things got really hard and then I quit. Or then we gave up because I just couldn't take it. I didn't expect it to be that hard. Well, what the fuck did you expect? Maybe we need to talk about expectations real quick. Maybe we need to talk about whatever fantasy was placed in your head that every day was going to be peaches, ice cream, and Popeye's chicken. Like I need to figure out what fantasy was placed in your head that led you to believe that a long-term relationship was going to be wonderful, easy every day, and that each day, every month, every week, every year, you're going to feel happy and fulfilled, and you're never going to be sad. You're never going to be disappointed. You're never going to be frustrated. You're never going to have times where you didn't get what you want. I mean, I'm just being real with y'all. Like, for real, like, I'm just going to tell you, you know, the average divorced couple, their wealth drops by 70% when they go through a divorce because the lawyers get all the money when your relationship breaks up. That's first thing. The average baby's mama in America has a net worth. The median black single mother in America has a median net worth of $5. $5. So white women's like, it's like $111,000 or something crazy like that. For black women, single black mothers, it's $5. For single black fathers, it's very low also because child support is a motherfucker. Any child support veterans in the room, anybody a veteran of the child support system to know how horrible it is, dehumanizing it is, how painful it is. I mean, I hated paying all the damn child support. It was terrible. It was terrible. Somebody gonna send you to jail because you can't come up with enough money that month. Like, that's a horrible feeling. That's a scary feeling. So, you know, it's like, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It doesn't mean you shouldn't, you know, form relationships or have kids or whatever. But it just means you got to change your expectations. Like, if you're going to do it, if you're going to make a commitment, then understand what commitment means. 3 words. I'm going to just give y'all the Dr. Boyce breakdown on this. If you want the Dr. Boyce breakdown on this, the politically incorrect breakdown on this, just type it in the chat. Tell me, give me the breakdown. Give me the breakdown. Just tell me in the chat. Do you want me to give you the breakdown? You want me to give you the for real? If you want me to give you the Dr. Boyce breakdown on this, let me know. If you want me to give you the Dr. Boyce breakdown, I will give you the Dr. Boyce breakdown on 3 words that people do not know the definition of in our society. This is, again, this is just me. If you don't agree, if you're not feeling it, that's fine. That's totally fine. You can say, you know, I like Dr. Boyce, but that was bullshit. Whatever, that's okay. I don't get offended by that. Let me give you the Dr. Boyce breakdown. 3 words that relate to relationships that people do not know the true definitions of what these words mean. Commitment, trust, and loyalty. Commitment, trust, and loyalty. People think commitment means that people think commitment is conditional. Like, I'm going to, I ain't gonna lie, when I was younger, I used to kind of giggle under my breath when half my friends got married because I knew they were gonna get a divorce. I knew they were gonna get a divorce because I'd be like, this motherfucker can't even finish 2 years in grad school. What the hell makes them think that they're ready for the long haul of 80 years of marriage? Like, really? Like, you couldn't even, you know, you couldn't even stick to your diet for 2 weeks, but yet you really think you're gonna stay married till you die? Like really? Like, really? And I would kind of laugh. I just didn't say anything because I didn't want to be mean. I don't want to be a party pooper. People hate it when you squash their fantasies, when you bring reality to them. But I always kept it 100 and real in my mind. I didn't pay attention to what was politically correct. I was always trying to figure out what was correct because I knew at an early age, at the age of 21, I knew that there was a reason why so many people ahead of me were miserable. I knew there was a reason why so many people ahead of me were broke. I knew there was a reason why so many people ahead of me were struggling and unhappy with their lives. I knew there was a reason why so many people ahead of me were living a life at 35 that they never thought that they would live when they were 20 years old. I knew there was a reason for that. And I said, something ain't right. Something's amiss here. What is it? And I was trying to figure it out. So commitment, I figured this out. People just honestly just don't understand what the fuck commitment means. They think commitment means that I'm going to make this promise, and I'm going to swear in front of everybody that I'm going to do this thing. And I'm not making you feel bad if your relationship ended. Most of y'all have dead relationships. I've had dead relationships, right? But I never got married, right? Because I knew what commitment meant. Commitment does not mean like, until, I'm going to make these vows before God, but when things get too hard, I'm going to just give up. Or if I go through a few months or a year of discomfort, of extreme discomfort, I'm just going to walk away. No, that's not what commitment is. Commitment means that you said you're going to do some shit. You do what the fuck you said you're going to do. Knowing, not just knowing the knowns. See, you go into a commitment knowing the knowns and saying, I can deal with the knowns. But what you haven't committed to is the unknowns and the unknown unknowns. You're not, a true commitment means I'm committing to the knowns, the unknowns, and the unknown unknowns in terms of all the variables and obstacles that I cannot even possibly imagine that are going to come up in the course of this commitment. I just said I'm going to do it, so I'm going to do it. That means that, I know a few things that might throw me off my track, and I'm ready for that, but I'm also ready for the stuff I don't know about, and then I'm ready for the stuff that I don't even know that I should even not even know about these things. Like literally, like you're ready for all those levels. Like if you're not ready for that, then you didn't really make a true commitment. A commitment means that hell or high water, it's about to happen, no matter what. Like, I think about like climbing Mount Everest. Like climbing Mount Everest is hard. There's for every one reason why you will succeed, there's 1,000 reasons why you won't. Right? So if you're not really into commitment, then you're going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to climb Mount Everest. Oh, but well, and somebody says, well, why did you climb Mount Everest? Oh, well, because I got up there and it was too damn cold. Okay. And then some people will be like, yeah, we were going to climb Mount Everest, but when we got up there was a storm. Okay. Well, but this white boy over here, he climbed Mount Everest and he just waited for the storm to end. Right? Yeah. But I didn't know it was going to be that hard. Right? Like you expected a certain level of difficulty, and then when the difficulty is higher than what you expect, you walk away from that shit because you did not make a true commitment. When you commit to something, you are really like that. The commitment is a hard thing. People, I swear to God, I'm gonna just be real with y'all. For years, I had people clown me because they called me a commitment phobe. And they're like, oh, Boyce, you scared to make a commitment? I said, no. I'm just not a dumb motherfucker like you. I know what a commitment really is, and I'm not going to commit until I'm 100% sure. But you can bet your ass that when I make that promise, I'm going to stick with that shit. Hell or high water. I'll stick to it longer than you will. Let's move on to the next thing. So commitment. Trust. What is trust? For a lot of people, trust means I trust that you're never going to do something to disappoint me. I trust you'll never cheat. I trust you'll always behave in the ways that I deem to be appropriate. I trust that you're always going to do what I expect you to do. To me, that ain't trust. That ain't trust. Trust means that I'm actually handing over power to you. Trust does not mean like when I trust my woman, I trust my woman. Let me just start with my own situation. I trust my woman. And what I explained to her is that, and I thought about these things for 20-something years. Like I'm really deep on this, and most people can't even go with me on this. But I told her, I said, I trust you, even with the shit, even when you lie to me, I trust you. Because I trust that the reason you lied to me, there must have been a good reason for you to tell that lie. I trust that even if you cheated on me, that you're going to respect me even when you're cheating on me, right? It doesn't mean I want you to cheat on me. Doesn't mean I'm going to be happy about it. But I trust you. I trust that there's a 1,000 things happening in life, I'm sure, that I will never know anything about. Ex-boyfriends hitting you up in your DM. Maybe there's a high school fling that you decide to have lunch with just to see how he was doing. Maybe you have fantasies about things that I would probably prefer to hear about. Maybe you're just lying to me about something because you just aren't ready for me to know about it. And I trust that whatever that is, that there's a good reason why you're taking that approach. And so, so trust to me does not mean I got to constantly verify whether I should trust you. Trust does not mean I'm going to go through your phone. I don't have no right to go through your phone. Trust does not mean I'm going to go break in your email to figure out if you're talking to an ex-boyfriend. Trust does not mean I'm going to follow you around. Trust does not mean that if I catch you in a lie, that you're untrustworthy. Trust, if I catch you in a lie, I might come back and say, why did you lie to me? And then because I trust you, I'm going to believe your explanation, right? And so trust is also a difficult thing. It's not something to be thrown around lightly. If you give trust, then give trust. If you don't give trust, then fuck it. Just don't trust anybody. Just say, look, I'm not capable of trusting. I'm not interested in trusting, so I don't trust shit. That's fine. That's okay. That's a good strategy too. I know people that live that way. That's their code. I don't trust nobody. And I'm gonna tell you, in a lot of parts of life, there are a lot of areas where I say that to myself. Oh, when it comes to this, I don't trust nobody. Right? It's okay to not trust, but if you choose to trust, then know what trust really means. You know, like I don't think people know what trust really means. Let's go back. Last point. Let me figure out which way I got. Okay, I gotta go north. All right. Loyalty. What is loyalty? I believe most people don't know what it means to be loyal. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button while I do this. I got to check my MapQuest real quick, make sure I'm going in the right direction. I'll be right back, and then we'll go talk about loyalty real quick. Okay, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. I'm trying to make sure I go in the right direction. So loyalty. What is loyalty? I did not understand loyalty until I met one person I'm thinking about who showed me what loyalty really was. Loyalty is heavy. Loyalty is risky. Loyalty is very difficult. Loyalty is very rare. Loyalty used to mean, I used to think loyalty meant like I ride with you and I'm down with you as long as you're not doing something that does not align with my values. You know, I always thought loyalty meant like I'm gonna be loyal to you until you're not loyal to me. Or loyalty means I'm going to be loyal to you until, I find out some shit that just doesn't make me uncomfortable. Then at that point, all bets are off. I'm not going to be loyal. Now, how many of you define yourself to be a loyal person? How many? Yes or no? Yes or no? How do you define yourself to be loyal? How many of you believe that you are a loyal person? Yes or no? Tell me if you feel like you're loyal. Okay, let me just say this. I believe, my theory is that most people who say that they're loyal really aren't loyal. If you ask most people, even a disloyal person, are you loyal? They're gonna be like, of course I'm loyal, right? So then you might, let's say you come back at them and you say, yeah, but you said you're loyal, but here I saw you stabbed the shit out of this motherfucker. Like this person used to be down with this person. Now you're backstabbing the hell out of that person. And then what'll happen is they will give you an explanation for why their loyalty became null and void. They'll say, yeah, I was loyal until she did this. Yeah, I was loyal until he did that. Right? Like so what that tells me is that I really think that in a pure sense of the phrase, you're not really loyal, you're conditionally loyal. Conditional loyalty means that my behavior is going to evolve based on your behavior, that my loyalty is contingent upon you doing X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3. That the minute you're disloyal to me, the minute you do something I don't like, the minute that you go too far, I'm not going to be loyal to you no more. So that tells me that, okay, you may be a little bit loyal, kind of loyal, but you're not as loyal as you think you are. I learned that loyalty means that even if you are disloyal to me, I'm still going to be loyal to you because that's my value system. That's just who I am going to be, right? Who you are, how you choose to behave has nothing to do with whether or not I disrupt my own internal code of honor or my own internal code of ethics, right? So loyalty also means, and this is why loyalty is heavy. This is why you got to think it through. Like, don't just start being loyal to people just because you want to be loyal. Like, really think about who you're loyal to. Loyalty also, in many cases, in its purest form, in my opinion, means that if you're riding with somebody, you're riding with them till the wheels fall off. Loyalty, in a lot of cultures, loyalty means loyalty till death. That means, I am with you. I will ride with you. If I got to take a bullet for you, then that's what I will do. If that means I go to jail for you, if that means that, that I gotta be connected to some bullshit because of you, then that's where I'm gonna be. And that's a crazy thing, because remember, it's not about just the knowns, it's the unknowns and the unknown unknowns. So when you say you're loyal to someone or something, you don't know what the future holds. You don't know what that loyalty is going to push you into. And I will just say that, most people, think about it, if you really think about it, pure loyalty in its purest form can be compared to stupidity for most people. It can be seen as stupid, right? Like why would you be loyal to somebody till the wheels fall off? But there are a few people in my life, like my woman, where I'm loyal to her till the wheels fall off. So that means, God forbid, she comes home in the car and there's a dead body in the trunk, then guess what? Babe, we're gonna be digging holes tonight to go bury this fucking dead body together, because I'm loyal, right? And it doesn't mean I'm gonna not be loyal because you decide to kill somebody. It means that because I trust you, and I'm committed to you, that I now am in the same shit that you are. That your situation is my situation is yours. And again, these are tough concepts to embrace. Like, this is tough, but it's not as if this hasn't happened before. Like, you have cultures where loyalty really is embraced, because loyalty, trust, and commitment build strength. That's how you build strong coalitions. You build strong coalitions when people say, I'm committed till death, I trust you no matter what, and I'm loyal to a fault, right? And I'm not here telling you what to be. I'm not telling you to be that person. I'm not telling you to be that person who can commit to something and trust trust to the end and be loyal to a fault. I'm just telling you this. Two things. One, if you meet somebody who's built like that, then you need to show appreciation for that person and just know that they're different from everybody else. When you meet somebody who's built like that, those are very special people. Those are the people that you should put at the top of your priority list, because those are the ones who are truly your ride or dies in life. And then number two, if you choose to become that kind of person for somebody and embody those values, take your time to make sure that you're clear on what that really means, like how deep that loyalty will really take you, because you got to kind of be tough and be ready for everything. So in a way, I can almost think about it like just to use a minor example. I made a commitment to run a marathon, right, with Alicia, right? And so Alicia was like, hey, let's run this marathon, boys. And I was like, okay. And I committed to running this fucking marathon. And it's like, it sucks because I did not know what it would feel like to run all these miles, and I'm like in pain every day. And it's like 8 miles today, 10 miles tomorrow, 5 miles to the next day. And I'm like, oh my God, like, this is not fun, right? And I did not, and there's so many things coming up that I didn't expect. Injuries, fatigue, how tired your body is, and it comes down to basically her saying, look, I trusted you that you were going to make this commitment. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I made the commitment. So that means that even with the unknowns and the unknown unknowns, I'm going to stick to what I said I'm going to do, because that is a value that I embody. Right. So again, I'm not telling you that you're lame if that's not who you are, or if you don't think this way, something's wrong with you. Actually, if you don't think that way, you're probably normal. You're probably going to fit into our society better than most. But I'm going to say that when it comes to really difficult shit, like marriage, like running a marathon is difficult, but fuck, marriage, that ain't got shit on marriage. When it comes to some really difficult shit like marriage, you better be ready to understand what those concepts are, or what's going to happen is you're going to end up in divorce court like everybody else. All these motherfuckers get married, don't know shit about what it really means to commit your life to somebody for the next 80 years. They just don't understand. I swear to God, I had one friend, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story about this real quick, then I gotta go. I had one friend who was having an affair on her husband, and I thought that there would be some story behind it. Like, I was like, well, is he a cheater? She was like, no. I said, did he beat you, abuse you? She was like, no. I said, are y'all just tired of each other? It's a dead relationship? She said, no. I said, well, why are you sleeping with this other man? And you know what she said? She said, well, when I got married at 25 because everybody told me I was supposed to get married. And I didn't, and 10 years in, I didn't realize how long forever really was. Like 10 years in, I was like, damn, like 10 years is a long time. And I got 60 more years to go. And so she literally was like, I wanted to I didn't want to go through the rest of my life without being able to sleep with nobody else. You know, so it was like something basic like that where she didn't really understand the depth of the commitment that she was making. So just make sure you understand the depth of the commitment and you toughen your mind. And for people that want to build strong relationships, which is really the key to wealth, it's the key to success, it's the key to power, it's the key to empire building, it's the key to warfare in life and winning battles in life. You know, then that's what you have to kind of understand. Because people who can really have loyalty and trust and commitment to the deepest levels, they form the strongest coalitions. The strongest coalitions are the ones that survive, and those are the ones that thrive. So that's it, guys. I'm about to go. Have a good day. Hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button. Also, I see Danica Marie is in here. Danica's now that's a real tough woman right there. She knows a lot about some of the things that I'm talking about. And anyway, I'm going to get out of here. So join us at the All Black National Convention in Houston next month. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. And also, if you want to learn to buy your first share of stock and start investing, there's a free training you can get access to. Just go sign up at blackmoney100.com. That's blackmoney100.com. And I will teach you for free. So thank you for listening to me and my stream of consciousness. I hope you guys gained something today. And I'm about to hop out of here and go meet my homeboy. So I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Peace.